C2A. The Nevada sun blazed down through the windows of Gate C12, casting long, warm shadows across the airport floor. A quiet tension hung in the air of the first-class cabin of Flight 811, a routine flight from Las Vegas to Washington, D.C. Everything appeared orderly. Passengers in crisp suits sipped champagne while scrolling through morning market updates. Nearby, others adjusted silk scarves or polished cufflinks. In this curated world of luxury, one presence disrupted the illusion. He entered without fanfarino entourage. No noise, just a 15-year-old boy in a clean black hoodie, spotless white sneakers, and a quiet sense of self. His name was Elijah Bryant. He walked with steady purpose, a small backpack over one shoulder and a paperback novel clutched in his left hand. His right held a valid first-class boarding pass C2A. No one noticed him at first. Not really, but that changed the moment the lead flight attendant saw him. Lana Whitmore had been working international flights for over 16 years. With her sleek blonde hair coiled in a tight bun, her uniform immaculately pressed, and her tone always polished to perfection, Lana prided herself on maintaining standards. She spotted Elijah the instant he stepped into the first-class cabin. She smiled at a businessman in 2C, nodded to a woman cradling a designer bag. Then her eyes fixed on Elijah. Her smile vanished. She approached with silent authority, her heels clicking softly against the carpet. "Excuse me," she said, her voice smooth but firm. "Are you sure you're in the correct seat?" Elijah looked up, calm and unflinching. He reached into his hoodie pocket and handed her the ticket with both hands. "Seat 2, he said quietly. She took it, not delicately, but as though retrieving something misplaced. Her blue eyes scanned the ticket, her brow twitching. "This is first class," she announced. "Yes, ma'am," Elijah replied. "Are you traveling alone?" she asked next. "I am." Lana's lips tightened. "I think there might have been a mistake. Please gather your things and come with me to resolve it." Elijah didn't move. "This ticket is mine. It was purchased under my name. There is no mistake." Lana's voice dropped a degree colder. "Sir, please don't make this more difficult. If you don't comply, I will need to involve the flight crew." Still, Elijah did not raise his voice. He didn't argue. Instead, he closed his book, reached for his phone resting on the armor stand before he could pick it up. Lana slapped his hand away and snatched the phone. The sound echoed like a gavel striking hardwood. A few passengers shifted in their seats. One man looked away. A woman gasped, but no one said a word. "Back of the plane," Lana said simply. "Now." Elijah stood quietly. He adjusted his backpack and lowered his hood. He didn't cry. He didn't resist. He just walked slowly, silently past the indifferent faces of first-class passengers, past the hushed whispers and turned eyes, past the people who chose stillness over solidarity. He took the last seat in the economy cabin. The air back here was different. Tighter, meaner, less forgiving. He sent a message to one number. Just a single line. "She slapped me. I'm in the back row now." Then he waited. Back in Manhattan, Miles Bryant stood by the window of his corner office on the 58th floor of Bryant Aeronautics, a quiet giant behind one of the country's largest airline portfolios. His assistant barely knocked before entering. "Sir, it's from Elijah." Miles took the phone, read the message once, and said only, "Call operations. Hold flight 811. In Atlanta, at the Central Operations Hub, red alerts blinked across control panels. An immediate override was issued. Do not close the cabin door. Do not allow the plane to taxi. Flight 811 is grounded until further notice. Back in the cockpit, Captain Douglas Knox squinted at the strange order. He picked up the intercom. "Miss Whitmore, report to the cockpit, please." Lana arrived moments later, smoothing her skirt as she stepped inside. On the screen was a live video call from Helena Woodbury, Chief Operations Officer. Her expression was stone. "Miss Whitmore," she said coolly, "do you know who the passenger in seat 2A is? I thought there was a mistake. That boy is Elijah Bryant. He's the son of Miles Bryant, chairman of Bryant Aeronautics, the airline you represent." Lana froze. "And you removed him from his seat. You struck his hand. In front of witnesses." I didn't know. Exactly, Helena snapped. You didn't know, but you acted like you did. You judge a child not by his ticket, but by the color of his skin. You'll return to the cabin, apologize publicly, and escort him back to his seat. And if I don't, you'll never fly again. Lana walked back down that aisle, her world collapsing one quiet step at a time. The confidence she had once worn like perfume now dissipated in the air around her. Elijah sat at the back of the plane, still gazing out the window. She stood in front of him. Elijah, she began, but the name trembled on her tongue. He didn't look at her. I want to apologize. I misjudged. It wasn't about the ticket, Elijah said calmly. You looked at me and decided I didn't belong. Lana swallowed hard. I'm returning to my seat, he said. As Elijah rose and walked back through the plane, silence followed. Not the silence of indifference, but of awakening. Every passenger watched. This time they saw him. He reclaimed seat 2A. He sat. He opened his book. He didn't look back. Within 30 minutes, a video recorded by a passenger went viral. A boy in a hoodie slapped on the hand and exiled to the back of the plane. Then called back after a silent message grounded the flight. Seat 2A trended nationwide. Commenters called it a masterclass in dignity, a quiet revolution, a lesson in how power doesn't always shout, it just knows. News anchors reported the story across networks. Public outrage exploded. The airline issued a statement promising an immediate internal investigation. But it was too late to control the narrative. Sandra Mitchell had become a symbol, not of authority, but of the everyday prejudice that hides in plain sight until it's recorded. Back on the flight, Lana returned to the galley, her hands shaking. Her suspension papers would be waiting at the gate. Her badge would be revoked. Her name, once synonymous with excellence, now lived on in hashtags and headlines. Passengers whispered. Some apologized. Many reflected. Elijah sat still, not as a victim, but as a reminder. That truth doesn't always need volume, just visibility. When the plane finally landed, no one rushed to disembark. They filed out in silence, many pausing to thank him. A woman in a gray coat handed him a mint. For the road, she said softly, and for the voices you gave back to us. Outside, cameras flashed. Elijah didn't speak. Not yet, but the world had already heard him, and it would never forget seat 2A.